Money, Power, and Monetary Regimes by Pavlina Tcherneva. Taxes. In the modern context, taxes assume an additional role. They still serve as an instrument of transferring real resources from the private to the public sector, but the way this transfer occurs is by creating demand for government-issued fiat currency. Modern governments settle their debts and pay for their expenditures by issuing their own liabilities, reserves, notes, coins, government checks. The private sector, facing a series of compulsory obligations to the state, denominated in the state-administered and state-issued unit of account, must obtain the currency before it can settle its debts to the state. Obviously, the issuer, the government, cannot collect taxes in currency it has not already issued. The way the private sector obtains currency from the issuer is by offering labor, goods, and services for sale to the state, paid in state currency. In other words, in the modern context, taxes have two functions. First, they create demand for otherwise worthless paper currency. Mosler, 1997 to 1998, Ray, 1998. Second, they serve as a means of provisioning the government in real, not in financial, terms. A monopoly currency issuer is never financially constrained by tax collections, as it always pays by issuing more of its own liabilities. It can spend as much currency reserves as it wishes, so long as there are real goods and services for sale. And the state cannot possibly collect currency through taxes before it has provided it through spending. The state does not need tax money to spend. It needs real resources. A welfare state in particular needs an army, public school teachers, a police force, food inspectors, and any other resources necessary to fulfill its public purpose. In a way, the modern state, as in ancient Greece, continues to serve a redistributive function in the economy, where it collects real resources, labor, from the private sector, and then redistributes them back to the private sector more equitably in the form of infrastructure, public education, government research and development, and via any other social welfare functions it has been asked to fulfill by voters. The role of taxation in modern market economies remains the same as in ancient times. It is not a funding mechanism, but a real resource transfer mechanism.